Have you ever heard about Chernobyl nuclear disaster? We bet you haven't. Well, in this moment, we are going to explain the incredible history of this place, aren't we?
Yes, Gabi. Come with us, finding and looking for the farthest corners, searching people who want to retell us about the tragic event that happened in April 26 in 1986.
Some volunteers say that they were going to guide us to the thrilling spaces of Chernobyl and Pripyat, a town near to the nuclear plant.
This year, the New York Times said that Soviet announced a nuclear disaster at the electric plant.
However, this is the worst nuclear disaster in the world. No sweat, this is the end of the world, not yet.
The report is full of mystery and curiosity. Our guides tell us to be careful because this is not a place to have fun.
Be prepared, because we are going to be in a horror movie. We really appreciate that you pay attention.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
In Europe, when Ukraine was Russia's yet, here was unleashed the worst nuclear tragedy in the world. Since here, you are able to see buildings and forests with radiation and all the ghosts of the town of nuclear workers. In this place, there were 4 reactors and there were 2 reactors in construction. These were used to provide energy and make plutonium for military forces. The Chernobyl nuclear plant had exploded before it caught fire at 1 a.m. It caused a radioactive cloud traveling for the surroundings. It was scoured by Europe. What a disaster! The experts say that 6 tons of uranium dioxide had traveled. It seems like 500 atomic bombs like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. What a shame! Ordering the events that carried the tragedy. First, the scientists had experimented with the 4th reactor. They say they wanted to know how much it resists. Then, the temperature of the reactor reached highest levels. When it happens, the people were evacuated. This emergency causes 200,000 of casualties. My heavens! That's a terrible death toll, isn't it? Well, now my parent is going to interview a survivor. Let's hear them.
Hey Gabriela, today we are with Anna. She's a historian and she's going to help us to understand the different aspects about the tragedy. So, come with me. Hey Anna.
Hey Paola.
Why did people return to this dangerous region?
The area has a long tradition of misery. In 1930s, Chernobyl had gone through a period of famine due to the Stalinist regime, and after the Second World War II, the people has been familiarized with a difficult life. They didn't have a lot of money and they depend on the harvest of their own soil.
Anna, what about the surrounders? I mean, people who live around Kiev. Did they help the victims?
Well, Chernobyl's victims suffer a horrible discrimination by the general population. The next year to the disaster, most of the inhabitants returned to the exclusion zone, walking, facing a route of 130 kilometers for Kiev, so they needed a place to rest along the lake. But it was really difficult to find where to sleep because people didn't want to become infected, so they were scared.
Oh God, I'm a big fan of your new book, A Life in Chernobyl. It's really interesting. And by the way, I have one more question. Could you tell us about children discrimination?
Well, kids in the area were branded too. They were called the Chernobyl swines. Children didn't allow to play with other children. But the situation changed when the government give them a new place to live, Slavic.
Thank you, Anna. Our time is up, but thank you for your knowledge.
Of course, anytime.
We mentioned all the aspects of the disaster. I interviewed people that told us what happened with the survivors. The consequences were 200,000 kilometers contaminated, more of 700,000 harvests consumed by radiation, and more of 135 people evacuated.
Finally, we think if the scientists had taken more care of the nuclear plant, they would save a lot of people. They needed to go to shelters, but there wasn't any first aid kit to cure the radiation. Also, the power outage gave them the opportunity to use candles of hope.
For goodness sake, there were a lot of mutations.
Without counting the genetic deformations of this disaster.
Here, Paola Romero.
I'm Gabriela Rodriguez, since Chernobyl. This is the tragic history for today. No!